There's a fly in my potion.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't see any fly.
What do you call this? Dig, look at them.
Yeah, but take away her bikini and what have you got?
See our happy home again.
Oh, okay. Now that we're alone, who was she?
Boy, when that cruise ship was sinking, the waves were washing over us. All I could think of. Who's who?
You know.
All I know is that we've just been through the worst experience of our lives. A typhoon. Almost lost at sea. And you want to know who is she?
Right. Who is she?
Joan of Arc?
Don't you try to change the subject. Norman R. Murchison, you were singing a different tune when you thought you were going to drown. Oh, Blanche, I confess, I've been unfaithful. Please forgive me before I die. Who was she?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, it's not what you think. It's just that it happened such a long time ago, I don't remember her name.
How about Sylvia? That ring a bell?
Now, Blanche, stop it. It isn't anybody you know. It isn't anybody I know either, for that matter. I can't remember her name.
So my friends weren't good enough for you, huh? You had to have an affair with a stranger. Come on, Norman. You had the fun. Now, the least you can do is let me have the name. Who was she?
Once and for all, I don't remember.
Once and for all, I don't believe you.
I never did get to read these books. I've been trying to for years.
What are you mumbling about?
Tolstoy.
Aha! So you do remember Tolstoy, huh? Some Russian babe. What's her first name?
All right. All right. You want it that way? That's the way it's going to be. You're absolutely right. Her last name is Tolstoy. And her first name is Lolita. Lolita Tolstoy. We had about a 22-minute affair 3 years ago. You went to visit your mother. I got lonely. Now, I haven't seen her since. Does that make you happy?
Oh, sweetheart, yes, I'm happy. That's all I wanted. Don't you feel better?
You believe me?
Of course I believe you.
And you forgive me?
Of course I forgive you. All I wanted was the truth.
I tell you, goes to prove one thing.
What?
Well, a man should never keep secrets from his wife.
Darling, I'm so happy that you decided that you could confide in me.
If you're happy, I'm happy. Oh. Blanche, listen to me. Mm-hmm. You and I have just now been through 2 major crises.
Oh, yes.
Crises. Well, we have been through a lot. And I think you and I deserve a celebration. Now, I'm going to go out and get a bottle of champagne, some of those old beer nuts and everything. Yes. We're going to have a second honeymoon.
Beautiful.
You wait right here. I'll be back.
Taffanetti. Togelheimer. Ah, here it is. Tolstoy. Wow, I never knew there were so many of them. Ah, this must be it. L. Tolstoy. Huh. Girls never list their first names. Okay, Forsyth. next.
Hello? Yes, this is Miss Tolstoy. Yes, Lolita Tolstoy. Who is this?
Never mind who this is. I just called to tell you that I know everything about you and my husband.
What do you mean? Who is this?
I'll give you one guess.
Oh, no.
Yes, you guessed it.
Just exactly how much do you know?
Everything, sweetie?
Could you be a little more specific, please?
No way. I just want you to stew in your own juice for a while. That's all.
Mr. Saunders, please. Hello, Jim. This is Lolita. Listen, I've got some bad news for you. Your wife just called me. She knows all about us. No, Jim, it was inevitable. No, we better not see each other. Look, Jim, that's final. I do not want to see you again.
To our second honeymoon. May it be as good as the first.
Why not better?
Better.
Oh, I'm so happy, Norman.
I'm happy too, sweetheart.
I'm especially happy since I called her.
Called who?
Lolita Tolstoy.
You called Lolita Tolstoy?
Uh-huh. I just had to tell her off. Oh, it made me feel so good.
Well, now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You talked to a Lolita Tolstoy?
Mm-hmm.
Which Lolita Tolstoy?
The one you told me about, silly. It was the only one in the phone book, so I knew it was her.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
Honey, I have a confession to make. I can only hope that you will understand and forgive me.
Oh, sweetheart. You already confessed, and I already forgave you.
This is another one.
Another one? You mean you had an affair with someone besides Comrade Tolstoy?
You just sit down and listen to me. There is no There is no Lolita Tolstoy.
What do you mean? I was just talking to her a minute before you came in.
Well, how could you speak to her when I just made the name up?
You made it up?
Yes.
What for?
Well, you kept insisting that I tell you who I'd had a fling with. And so I thought if I gave you a name, just any name, that would end it.
Don't you lie to me, Norman. Now, I could tell that was her.
But don't you see that you must have talked to a woman who's involved with a married man, and now she thinks his wife knows about it?
You really expect me to believe that? You know, that is the most unbelievable thing I ever heard.
Lawrence, you're terrible. We can't, honey. I'm afraid Jim will find out. He's been acting very strangely lately. I really think he's getting suspicious. Oh, Jim, you startled me. Yes, 2 dozen eggs and a quart of bread. And hurry. Groceries.
I suppose we better talk about it.
Talk about what?
Come on, Kathy. You know.
I just didn't know you knew.
How could I help but know?
Jim, I don't know what to say.
Neither do I. Oh, I understand how you feel.
You do?
I'm lucky you're even talking to me.
You are?
Go ahead. Yell, scream, hit me. I deserve it.
You do?
The fact is... Oh, boy. The fact is that I've been seeing Lolita for the last couple of months.
Lolita?
Oh, stop acting dumb, Kathy. We've got to talk this out.
Lolita who?
You know who. You called her.
I didn't call anyone, but keep going. This is very interesting.
Well, I was planning to tell her. You didn't call her?
You have been seeing another woman?
No, not really. It was just one of those things, one of those nutty flings.
Just one of those fling things. Get out! Out of here!
I just wanted to...
Never want to see you again!
Kathy! Will you please stop hitting me?
You told me to hit and yell and scream. Well, I am. Ow! Ow!
I am going. Are you sure you didn't call her? I am going.
Lawrence, Jim and I are breaking up. We don't have to sneak around any longer. This isn't Lawrence Fabian? It's Mrs. Fabian. I'm not who you think I am. I'm nobody. I'm a joke. Goodbye.
All right, Blanche. Now, one more time. The one you know is not the one you know. The one I knew. The one I said I knew because I don't know.
Oh, you are not fooling me, Norman.
No,
You've been seeing her all along, right?
No.
And now you're afraid that I've frightened her away and you'll never see her again.
That's not true.
Oh, so then you admit that you intend to see her again?
Yes. I am going to see her.
Uh-huh.
But only to have her prove to you that I've never seen her.
Oh, what does that mean?
What does that mean? I am going to Miss Tolstoy and have her prove to you once and for all that she and I do not know each other.
Oh,
Now, phone book.
what's the matter? You can't remember where she lives?
I forgot where she... I never knew her. There's no Lolita Tolstoy here.
Try L. Tolstoy.
All right, I'm going now. And if that poor girl is contemplating some drastic action because of your suspicions, I'll never forgive you.
Oh, forgive me! You had the affair!
How can I have an affair with somebody I don't even know?
Oh.
Jim, I told you I never wanted to see you again.
I gotta talk to you. My wife just kicked me out.
Well, what do you expect? You told her everything.
I didn't tell her anything. Well, I did, but that's after I thought she already knew.
What are you talking about?
She didn't know anything about it till I started apologizing about it.
Don't lie, Jim. She distinctly told me you confessed to her.
Well, that must have been someone else. The woman on the phone wasn't my wife.
Why would you confess to a woman who wasn't your wife?
For Pete's sake, I'm trying to tell you something. I didn't confess to anyone.
Then why should someone who isn't your wife call me?
You want to know why? I'll tell you why. I don't know why.
Unless,
Unless what?
Lolita, can you be having an affair with some other married man?
How dare you? What kind of a girl do you think I am?
Don't answer that. That may be my wife. She has a terrible temper. There's no telling what she might do. I mean...
Well, what do you want me to do? Pretend we're not here? I think we better just face the music.
I like pretend we're not here much better.
Lolita, I mean, she's a mean woman. Lolita, you better be careful. I'll tell you just...
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you L. Tolstoy?
Yes. It's okay, honey. It's just somebody from the phone company.
Did a woman just call and accuse you of having an affair with her husband?
What is this? A nationwide survey?
So I thought I'd just come over here and see if I could help straighten things out.
Of all the names, you had to dream up mine.
Well, who in the world would have really thought there was a Lolita Tolstoy?
No jokes, please. I've had it up to here with jokes about my name.
Is there anything I can do to help? I mean, maybe I could go to your wife and explain.
Explain what? That your wife called the wrong woman who turned out to be the right woman?
Well, it might be difficult, but... Well, this is sort of my fault. I feel I owe it to you.
Well, maybe it's worth a try. Things couldn't get worse. But watch out. She swings a mean pillow.
Listen, what about your wife?
Oh, well, she uses her fists.
No, I mean, we've got to convince her this is all just a case of mistaken phone calls.
Lolita, there is not a single thing in this world that you could tell my wife that she would believe.
What about a man?
Yeah, but what man?
Yeah, what man?
No, please, Mrs. Fabian, just let me explain. Mrs. Fabian, we can reason with one another. I am not. Mrs. Fabian, how did you get my phone number? Mrs. Fabian, could we carry on this argument later? There's someone lurking outside my window. No, it is not your husband. Lawrence, is it you? Jim?
Pardon me, I didn't see an address in the front of the house. The window was open. I hope you don't mind. Are you Mrs. Sang? Kathy!
Norman!
I don't believe it.
Come on in.
Oh, what do you know? Kathy, what are you doing here?
I live here.
With Jim?
Oh, sure. You know, I was going with him the night we met. Remember?
Oh, do I remember the night we met? Oh, at the beach? Oh.
No, it was a motel.
Oh, that's right, the motel. How could I forget? Well, so you're married to Jim.
Do you know Jim?
Do I know Jim? Oh, from way back. Old Army buddies.
Jim wasn't in the Army.
No. Boy Scouts, something with uniforms. So you're married to Jim.
Well, Norman, you never called me. I went to Jim for comfort. One thing led to another. We were married the next night.
Kathy Shagnasty. How could I ever forget? Of course, my wife thinks you're Lolita Tolstoy.
You know Lolita Tolstoy?
Well, sure. I just came from her place.
My, she's quite a busy girl, isn't she? Is she the reason you didn't call me?
Oh, no. That was Blanche.
Blanche, who?
My wife.
Norman, you never told me you were married.
Oh, well, what did I tell you?
You don't even remember anything at all about that night on the beach, do you?
Well, I thought it was a motel.
Oh! Get out of
Well,
here!
please let me explain to you what
Forget it!
Kathy, I'll call you, I promise.
So, Jim's wife understood.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Don't you think we ought to call the hospitals?
What for?
Well, he's been gone a long time.
So what's the rush? Here, relax.
All right. To you.
To us.
To us. Well, I can certainly see why Jim went for you. You're lovely.
Thank you. I think you're nice, too.
Well, I'm just sorry that I ruined things for you and Jim.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I was just beginning to realize that Jim and I really have very little in common.
Well, that's the way I feel about my wife. The only thing we have in common is we have nothing in common.
Poor man. Can't you do anything about it?
Well, I never had any reason before, but well, now I have a reason.
I appreciate your honesty. You know, all of this would never have happened if he'd just told me the name of the woman.
Well, perhaps he was afraid to tell you.
Well, what's to be afraid of? All he had to do was confess, and I would have forgiven him like any wife would.
I don't know about that. I mean, I told my wife the truth, and she threw me out.
Oh, you poor boy. If I had been in her shoes, I would have forgiven you like that.
You know something, Mrs. Murchison?
Blanche.
Blanche. The way your husband talked, I had no idea that you were such a warm and understanding woman.
Yes, I am, aren't I? Norman never appreciated those qualities in me.
Well, do you know something else? I'm glad you called that Lolita by mistake.
You are? Why?
Well, I never would have met you otherwise.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you are sweet.
Oh, well.
Stay a while.
Well, I really think I could stay a while.
You know, I think we're going to be real good friends.
Real good friends.
sitting here?
No, handsome.
Before you take your wedding vows, I have just 2 bits of advice for you. First, right from the start, you have to insist on 1 night a week out with the boys. And second, don't waste it on the boys.
Darling, we had a baby, and I named him after you.
Harold Jr.
No, 297364 Jr.